Jesus, the Good Shepherd. That is what this Sunday is known as, Good Shepherd Sunday. Now, when we think about Jesus as the Good Shepherd, different images from ancient times come to mind. Jesus is there with a lamb around his shoulders, either walking with him or with a staff, or even when on the bulletin cover, there is a statue, image of a statue of the Good Shepherd. In either case, it reminds us and it tells us about Jesus bringing the sheep back into the fold, for the sheep had wandered away. And if Jesus did not go after the sheep, the sheep could be devoured by wolves, if not protected by the shepherd. So, Jesus caring for the sheep, Jesus protecting the sheep, Jesus looking out after the sheep. Although we do not have shepherds tending sheep in this area, the imagery does have application for us today. Thinking about that, Jesus, the Good Shepherd, looking after us, Jesus, the Good Shepherd, caring for us, Jesus, the Good Shepherd, bringing us back. Because we know as people, as the sheep, they wander around, and from time to time we wander away from Christ through our choices. And when we do wander, there is Jesus to pick us up and bring us back into the fold. But you see, part of that is Jesus is there to care for us and to bring us back into the fold. But the other part is we have to be willing. We have to be willing to go back into the fold. And the fold is this community of believers. Jesus can take that crook and pull us in. But if we resist, he's going to let us go. He will there still always be caring for us and looking out after our best interest. But we have to be a part of that. We have to be willing to come back into the fold. Because Jesus says the Good Shepherd cares for us. Jesus as the Good Shepherd cares for us and has our best interest and wants us to be always together as a community. For you think about this, that when we do wander, the farther we wander away from the flock, us, the farther we wander away from Jesus, the easier it is to give in to temptation. Think about this. When the pack is hunting prey, who do they go after? What do they go after? They go after the animal that is away from the herd. You think about that. It's very applicable to us. Because they have wandered away from the herd, they're easier to attack. Makes sense about us. When we wander farther away from Christ in our relationship with Jesus, it's easier for temptation to kick in and it's easier to give in to temptation. And then we can't hear the voice of Jesus, for Jesus is always calling. It is so interesting when you do this analogy, and I think, we're like sheep? Well, yes, we are. This analogy is that the sheep hear the shepherd's voice. They know it. And so when they are called, they come to that shepherd. The same for us, to listen to the voice of Jesus calling us back home, calling us back into the community. No matter how far we have strayed, there is Jesus, the Good Shepherd, seeking us out and carrying us back. not calling us back and saying, come, but come and I walk with you. And even when we can't walk, it is Jesus who carries us back into the fold. For we can rest assured that Jesus will not lose anything of what has been given to him by God his Father. We heard in that second reading, we are his children. We are the children of God. And as children of God, God will never abandon us. God will never leave us out on our own. He's always in search of us, calling us, bringing us back into the fold, the faith community. Although we do not have shepherds in our time and we can't really see that, but we can imagine and we can think about that. And we can see how Jesus really is the good shepherd for us. Jesus really is that good shepherd, always calling us back into the fold and walking with us. Perhaps you've heard of this following poetry, so to speak, footprints. It goes, one night I dreamed a dream. As I was walking along the beach with my Lord, across the dark sky flashed scenes from my life. For each scene, I noticed two sets of footprints in the sand, one belonging to me and one belonging to my Lord. After the last scene of my life flashed before me, I looked back at the footprints in the sand. I noticed that at many times along the path of my life, especially at the very lowest and saddest times, there was only one set of footprints. This really troubled me. So I asked the Lord about it. Lord, you said once I decided to follow you, you'd walk with me all the way. But I noticed during the saddest and most troubling times of my life, there was only one set of footprints. I don't understand why. When I needed you the most, you would leave me. He whispered, my precious child, I love you, and I will never leave you. Never, ever, during your trials and testings. When you saw only one set of footprints, it was then that I carried you. This is Jesus, the Good Shepherd.